when they switched Red Onion over, when they was making it, the only level 6 was to be long term segregation only. It was just a stressful time. Nobody knew, if they was going over there, or who was coming in, stuff like that. And during this time, like, thankfully I was in the right part. They started these mass transfers really in other parts before they got to mine. So, like I said, my part was pretty laid back with old heads who would try to trick you out of money. Some would try to, trick you, sexually, but it really wasn't no um, like super predators in there, predators during this time that are, run up in your cell any opportunity they get type deal, or, stuff like that. So like I say, I ran into a good little time to where the violence slowed down, things changed with the staff. They had to shoot a warning shot in the air, so they wasn't just allowed to shoot people in the face and stuff, like certain rules started to change just a little bit, not much now. Cause like I told you, you got staff up there, they all have the same last name. So how can you win? Even when you right, you wrong. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that culture up there is what I knew I had to. I followed the guys around me who knew, they'll fight, they'll do whatever. Man, they're trying to stay out the way. They're working jobs. So I learned from them. I got a job, got the education stuff, completed anger management, completed problem solving, finally took the GED class, signed up for custodial maintenance, which at the time was the only trade up there. Um, and it was hard to get in that for years. I was up there, I couldn't get in there. So I even stopped trying. So when I finally get into class, I'm like, oh, this what's up, something else to do, get out this cell, we locked down all the time. And another achievement under my belt, man, try to get my level down and get out of here, to a lower level prison where I had a little more freedom. But yeah, I did what I had to do. Like I said, man, it wasn't hard to stay out the way back then at the time. The COs it was, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm just saying it wasn't a lot of inmate politics. No, like dudes was just, trying to get off there. You always have the bats to try to, freedom fight or whatever you want to call it, rebel. That never worked out. You know what I'm saying? Some of them dudes went missing. I never heard from them for years. So I ended up on other compounds. But it's all on your energy, how you carry yourself, and it's hard. But I was lucky and I did it. I was blessed. I was able to do it, and I got in custodial maintenance. So I'm like, wow. I got these, everybody around me telling me I'm so young, I'm not gonna do all this time in here. You have that talk, but then you have the hope that I'm holding on to. I can get to a lower level, get me a cell phone, contraband, get me a CO. Like I'm holding on to the goals like this in my mind and try to keep pushing forward and getting through this stuff up here. Like I learned to kind of tune it out, become numb to it when the CO sit in the booth all night and just buzz the speaker, just trying to play psychological games, I kind of became numb to it, blocked it out, didn't let it get to me like others did, the way they reacted. And that's what they wanted you to do. They did stuff to you so that you could react and they had something for you. That was their hobby. Come home, uh, come to work from home, stressed out, mad, find somebody to get out of line so they can take their anger out on them. Like it was a daily routine around there. You seen it. Like they human. They human beings too. And they don't care about no reentry, rehabilitation, like none of that. They never been from that western region, no other cultures. They're not open minded. Like in the training that they get from DOC is like it's just BS. This is what it is, when it comes to dealing with the trauma in there that these men dealing with. But I was able to follow those around me, got my level down. Only problem with that is you wait years for transfers on red land. When you in this mountain region, you stuck in this mountain region. Like they bounce you around. That's why they have every level out in that area, So It was depressing sometimes. You'll get mad, discouraged, like you never going anywhere. Um, Finally they come and just, I think I'm in custodial maintenance maybe a week, and they just shut it down, send out memos. Oh, no more. They did away with all classes on Red Onion when I was up there. They said it's for long term stay. So like that's the contradiction. If you sending guys there like, oh, you're gonna die here, we're not thinking about your rehabilitation. But on the other hand, you want them to move as model inmates and citizens and prepare for the work. Which one is it? It can't be both. And yeah, it used to be guys, you have 100 years, you have 100 years, but that's so often, right? Has guys with 100 years and women, with life sentences, whether it's 50 years, 60 years, or it's the actual life sentence has been released, made it out of prison, so it's like, what kind of message is Virginia DOC really sending? So it's like, but anyway, they shut the class down like that, and now I was back like, oh, like sad. I was like Q-Tip in prison song. They did away with the art class. Like I was like, what am I gonna do now? Like I'm stuck here. I'm not getting transferred anytime soon. They start breaking the pod up. They moved me over to another pod. Luckily, I get there, good energy. It's a bunch of guys who can't wait to get transferred. They all know they leaving, going to Winans Ridge, other places. I'm in for a transfer, so I'm glad as well. So everything was just like, you got to be patient. I'm just soaking up what's around me with what I have to do when I get to this next level to prepare myself, listening to the different stories on what, so I know what to expect, and you can't believe all of it, but when it, depending on who it's coming from, you can, but you got to use your own discernment, your own judgment on that when you inside. And it's a hard thing to do because people talk good. But I ended up getting moved to a new pod, new celly, pod laid back. Some of the officers were more laid back because we was leaving off of there, so that they was waiting to bash new heads in to come up there, so to speak. Nobody hardly ever used the phone. That wasn't a thing back then. Too many blocks on the phone. Phone calls was too expensive. So one day I'm in my cell, and out of nowhere, 1,000 officers come in with a whole bunch of nurses. So I'm sitting smoking a cigarette, looking like, what is going on? Looking at my side, like, what?